Good evening, ladies and gentlemen and friends. One second, this is loud. There we go. Welcome back to the Castro Valley News live show. I am a couple of minutes late because Facebook has a different, Facebook has a different start page to go live, so I had to navigate through some interesting bells and whistles here, so I apologize for being tardy. I was actually here, but no, I can't see comments. So this is interesting. Hang on, guys. This is different. I apologize, guys. We're gonna go into the roll call, but I can't I can't see the comments here. So just bear with me while I kind of go through this a little bit more so that I can see who's watching and who's listening. I see there's 23 people out there, and I'm sure you guys are commenting that you're listening. So let me see if I can do this. Comments here. So just bear with me while I kind of. So there we go. Yeah, now I can see. Sorry, I missed a whole bunch of comments here. So good evening to Janella. Good evening to Bob. Bob is here reluctantly, and we'll get into that later. But Bob, I'm glad that you are here. Either way, reluctantly or non-reluctantly, I got nothing but love for you, sir. Nothing but love and appreciation for everything you do. Good evening to Dennis. Janella is saying the family with the little girl that was in the altercation at Canyon Middle School will be on the news tonight, Cron 4-8. I hope some more of the truth of that comes out. So we're in the roll call, and I'm just going to make sure I'm not missing anyone here. Okay. So I'm watching the live video with a weird lag, and also I'm live as well. So that was an easy solution to an unexpected problem. So we're still in the roll call. I'm going to go through here and make sure I don't miss anyone. Good evening, Michael. Hope you're doing well. Good evening, Dustin. Happy Tuesday to you as well, sir. Good evening, Ashley. Oh, Ashley just sent 100 stars. Thank you so much. Good evening to Catherine. Good evening to Stephen. Stephen is in the house. Good evening to Jessica. Good evening to Rochelle. This is actually pretty cool because the comments are coming in actually in real time, so I can see them as they come in. So I can definitely give everyone a shout out. We're in the roll call right now. By the way, my name is Roberto, and this is the Castro Valley News live show. We do this every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Good evening to Rochelle. Good evening to Jessica. Good evening to Jan. Good to see you as well, Jan. Good evening to, thank you, Janella, for giving a shout out to Tanya. And Janella is also mentioning Micaiah. And we've got Bob at the sports desk. That's a silly voice. Bob is saying Oakland 9, Detroit 3, bottom of the ninth, suddenly playing better. Haven't they lost like 7? Ashley is asking, where is Maggie? And Maggie will probably be tuning in and inviting everyone. Good evening to Julie. Good evening to Michael again. Good evening to JN. Michael is asking, am I going to do the Raider trivia tonight? And if I was, you just gave the answer out, so I'm not. Good evening, Jeffrey. Good evening, Micaiah. So we're doing the roll call. It's the first thing on the list. I've got a couple things on the list. You can probably guess one of the things that we'll be discussing tonight is going to be that situation that happened at Canyon Middle School. I'm calling it a situation because I don't really know what happened, but we'll get that. We'll get to that in a minute. but we're still in the roll call. So if you want to shout out, post up a comment, and we'll give you a shout out, and we'll say hello to you. And if you're not familiar with the show, this is our 71st episode, and I know that I say this every episode. It just blows my mind that we've gotten this far with this live thing that we do, because it's a lot of fun. If you're not familiar with the show, this is we do this live through Facebook, obviously, but it's a really cool opportunity for us to kind of gather together and kind of talk about things that are on our mind and things that are happening. And yeah, our moderators celebrating 71st. And also, during this broadcast, you can support our page by sending stars. They are a digital gift that helps us earn money, and I think Facebook gets a teeny portion of that, but we actually get a big slice of that. So they are not free. I understand that you have to pay for those. I'm just getting sidetracked because there's comments here. Julie says, year she was born. April says, can anyone speak to our more residential condos and apartments, more modern, coming to Castro Valley? Yes. There's a proposal for some condos, I believe, on the trailer park, the Tratel trailer park that is next to the library. That's going to be a ways away because from what I understand, the plans that they have are pretty significant, and it's probably going to go through a long public process for those to be approved. But I think they're proposing 2- and 3-story condo buildings with lower level retail, and that is, like I said, the trailer park right next to the library. So there's that. I hope that answers your question. Jeffrey says, I have a student who says everything people are saying about the incident at Canyon is true. Interesting, Jeffrey. There's quite a few people who are saying that everything said about the incident at Canyon is false. So, oh, Rob Pointer, yeah, buddy, way to go. I remember when you did a ride along with me. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Rob. Good to see you. Glad you're doing well. I know I see you out on the motor every so often, and I hope you and your family are doing well. Thanks for the shout out. Good evening to Darren. I guess we're already into the Canyon discussion. Thank you, Janella, for the 50 stars. Somebody else, Micaiah. I always do this every week. So I say it both times so that I can get it right. But thank you for the 200 stars. I appreciate it. And if you're not familiar with who Micaiah is, she is the owner of Restore and Rework over on San Carlos Avenue, 1 street behind the boulevard near the Valley Inn. Great people, lots of fun stuff. Check out Restore and Rework on San Carlos Avenue and tell them Castro Valley News sent you. Tella is in the house. Good evening to you. And thank you again, Janella, for sending 200 stars. 200 more stars? Wow. So Janella sent 250 stars total. Thank you so much. I'm going to backtrack, see if there's any people here that I'm missing in the roll call. April, good evening to you. You had the question about the residential condos. And trying to think, where was another residential? Oh, there's more residential that will be coming in over on Ruby Street, kind of on the border of Hayward and Castro Valley, near-ish the Japanese Gardens. I think there's going to be a huge chunk of it is going to be for veterans, but I believe some of it will also be lower income and some regular income. That plan may have changed, but those are coming. But then again, I shouldn't say that because those 2 projects are going to be probably a couple of years out. So thank you for your support, Micaiah. I keep doing that. I need to write this down. I need to write the proper pronunciation down somewhere so that I don't forget it. With that said, let me make sure I'm not missing anyone in the roll call, because it's cool and it's fun to give shout. Hey, thank you, Jeffrey, for 830 stars. You are awesome, sir. JN just sent 310. Thank you so much. Just kind of cruising through. Yes, Darren says restore and rework. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Great stuff in there. Great people. Thank you guys for supporting Castro Valley News through our page, and also you bought some ads in our magazine before, and I really appreciate that. You guys are awesome. So just want to make sure I don't miss anyone in the roll call. Thank you, Bob, for tuning in. I know you're reluctant because I think Bob is tired of topic number 3. Topic number 4 on the list here. But it seems to be the topic on everyone's lips. Yes. Good evening, Julie. Some more people in the roll call going on. Good evening, Soshi. And I think I got your name right. Your name is extremely musical. Soshi, good evening to you. Darren is saying the proper pronunciation for good evening, Lorraine. Let's see. Good evening, Jen. Soshi, so I got it right. That's awesome. Gina is asking, where are the topics? The topics are here on the list. You can kind of read them. Number 2 is a silly one, but we'll get to that in a second. A lot of people talking about the thing that happened at Canyon. We'll get to that in a second. Cassie says it's true. I know the victim and family personally. Let's get to that. We'll get to that later. Just want to make sure I don't. Good evening, Jean Marie. Welcome to the show. Cassie says, yes, some wavy to want. I assume hush what happened to Canyon, sweeping this one under the rug. So I'll give the roll call one more shake. If you're listening and you want to shout out, definitely post up a comment and I will give you a shout out. That way we get to kind of hear the first name of people who are listening and who are talking. Oh boy. Well, I guess because the comments are rolling in on the topic, let's just jump into it and we can do the midway giveaway at 7:30. Good evening, Denise. I hope you're doing well. So Bob is saying social media is not the place for this to be adjudicated. Bob gets the $2 word of the night, adjudicated. I love that word. There is too many privacy rights dealing with minors, preteens. There is also due process. Any district action has to be done in closed session. I love your points. I totally agree. So she is saying, I'm glad it's getting a lot of attention, lots of support, and good vibes for the victim and family. Good evening, Ross. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the show. So what I'm going to do right now is I do have a topic number 2 that I'm going to kind of table for a minute, and we can just jump right into what we are talking, what everyone's talking about. Tiffany, thank you for the 530 stars. You are appreciated. You make me feel warm and fuzzy. If you're not familiar with what the stars are, there's a little thing in the comments that you can click. I think you have to purchase the stars. But the cool thing about that is naturally Facebook gets, a little bit of the pie, but we get the majority of the pie. So those stars represent monetary love increments that we get, and we really appreciate it. No pressure. If you want to do that, that's wonderful. If you don't want to, that's okay too. Good evening to Dino. Julie says, wondering what happened on Sydney Way Sunday night, several police cars. No idea. Your best bet is to message me when things are actually happening, or you can call the Alameda County Sheriff's Department. I'm assuming that was the agency that was out there at 510-667-7721. Ask for a desk sergeant, and inquire. If it's in your neighborhood, you should be able to message, let them know that you live in the neighborhood and you'd like some basic information. So I apologize, Julie. I have no information on what happened on Sydney. Janella says, only to be told, come in and get your daughter. There was an incident as she's sitting in the parking lot waiting to pick her up. So we're knee deep in this canyon story. And I'm going to be completely open with you, and I'm going to give like a little preamble to the discussion. There were some comments on our story that I did respond to that I kind of wanted to address now because they've kind of stuck with me and they've been kind of peanut butter on the mind for me. Someone mentioned that the story was cold and robotic. And if you're dealing with facts and if you're dealing with trying to present them factually and completely unbiased, that's actually a compliment that I was cold and robotic, because I don't have any emotional attachment to the story. I will say that it's horrible for any child to be hurt in any way. Lisa Marie, we're getting to that. And good evening, Lisa Marie, and good evening, Cassie. I don't know if I mentioned, I gave you a shout out. Cassie is giving a tag to Kristen. So, and I understand the original post, how much emotion it has sparked, and I'm not saying that. I am saying the fact that it was posted by a friend of the anonymous mother put it a little bit in. It piqued my curiosity even more. But from what I was told, because the parent did email me, and the parent says that there's already a lawsuit in motion. So if we or you are looking for information on this, I'm going to give you two things that are going to really impede that at this point right now. Because the school district, like they told in their statement presented to me from the superintendent, because there's disciplinary action being done, they cannot speak on it. They can't give detail in specific detail. Lorraine is asking the kids involved were girls. I honestly don't know. I know there was one girl. Cassie, thank you for tagging Jamie and Della. So there's one thing right there. The school district can't give us the specific information because there's disciplinary action happening, and also because the two parties involved were minors, 7th and 8th grader. The other portion of the other component that will most likely keep information from us until a later point is because the parent is suing. So good evening to Crystal. Crystal is tagging Heather. Thank you so much. So I'm just giving you my perspective in regards to, if my story was cold and robotic, that's actually a compliment, because I don't have a sentimental attachment to this. It's horrible and unfortunate that a child was injured in this way. I wasn't there. I think a lot of the people who are commenting weren't there. I think a lot of people are really basing the majority of their opinion based on that anonymous email. And what I told to a lot of people who messaged in is, no matter what the situation, there's always two sides to every story. Sometimes there's more than two sides, depending on what the situation is and how many people were involved. There were actually people who were attacking me because my story was more straightforward and was not on the side of the victim or the victim's family. I can take that. That's fine. I understand people are passionate. People are frustrated. A lot of the comments are coming from parents. I am not a parent of a child, of a human child. I am a parent of a dog, which is extremely different. So my perspective is going to be a lot different than a parent's perspective in reading this. But I want to give some insight to, I get it. I understand. This child was hurt, and I know people are very, very angry. People are up in arms because fingers have seriously been pointed at the school and the school district. And I'm going to just say that there have been people closely associated with the school district who have told me off the record, and I can't name names, that that account isn't exactly factual or true to what happened. And I know that's going to spark a lot of ire, and I know it did in the comments of our story. And I know a lot of people are talking about, a lot of people apparently, a lot of people had little to no input in regard to the dismissal of the SRO officers. Sue just commented that. And there were also people who commented, well, why wasn't this mentioned in that story? Well, we covered that in 2 different stories. We had Sheriff Ahern on here. He discussed it. Sheriff Ahern was on a live show, I think last month, and he discussed it. We invited Superintendent Amati to come on to the show and discuss that. Denise is saying, okay, let's move on. I don't think that's going to happen, Denise, because I think there's going to be a lot of conversation about this, and there should be. But I think a lot of people are kind of talking and reacting and not hearing both sides of the story, which I think is fair. Sue is saying, yes, let's move on. I'd love to. I'd really love to. The amount of messages that we received, people were demanding that we cover this, that it was our obligation. People demanded that we did a story on this. And if folks are not going to be happy with something that's fair, I don't know how to speak to that. Denise says, next subject, please. The comments are coming in fast, so I'm going to try to keep up with this. Good evening, Karen. I hope you're doing well. Catherine says, red-haired student was able to come back to school the next day and got into another altercation. I think a lot of what we are reading about this, a lot of it is one-sided. And I think yes, Cassie, you were the one who originally reached out and got me in contact with the person. Thank you, Cassie. The parent is still anonymous. And I guess she's not if she's going to be on TV, which is wonderful. Sue is saying, get on with the story I meant. Okay, so the backstory is last Thursday there was an altercation of some sort between a 7th and 8th grader. Some people are saying it was a fight. There are other people who are saying it was an attack. Janella says it's a huge concern in our community. It's our children. I agree. Totally. I'm going to pronounce your name incorrect, and I apologize. Kian. We can only hear both sides of the stories if the district responds. The district is not going to respond because it's a disciplinary action, so they cannot comment on that. There was a comment that Superintendent Amati sent to us, and I'm gonna dig that up. I'm gonna try to dig it up. Let me dig it up on my phone. It might be easier to read it to you there. Just bear with me, guys. I'll find it for you. You would think with a computer and a bazillion windows open, it would be easier to pull up this information. Just give me a second here. Janella says it was an altercation. So there's so much different information that's being spread, and I apologize, guys. I did my extreme best to get as much information for you guys as possible, but like I said, Sheila is saying how convenient. I don't know if in regards to not being able to comment. I think that's school code, that they can't speak on situations where there's disciplinary action. So I don't know if it's a matter of convenience, but it's an unfortunate situation. I'm really trying to find this post for you guys. Just bear with me here. Sheila says it's convenient. Okay, I get your point, Sheila. I know, there's so many people who have come at this and have just really beat the school district down on this. And I think a lot of this, I'm not going to go down there, because then I'm going to get lambasted for saying something that's definitely going to offend people. I don't want to do that. I want to walk straight and narrow, and I don't want to interject my opinion like some people said that I have in the posts. And I think there was someone who actually said that the story was paid for by the school district, which is completely unfounded. So I'm having absolutely no luck getting the story up. Maybe I can do it through a different window. I appreciate you guys' your patience here. So Catherine says, was the victim unconscious? And that's another thing that the parents said yes. There's other people saying no. So this is frustrating for me, because I really can't. I'm not able of getting all of the facts that I would like to get for you guys. I was able to get a different perspective from the message that was being spread all over Nextdoor. And I don't look at Nextdoor because Nextdoor doesn't serve a purpose for me. So a lot of people are saying that they've seen a video. Oh, Cali Life, how you doing, sir? Glad you joined the show. Hey, it's 7:30, so let's do the midway giveaway, and we can come back to this topic as I still attempt to get this statement from the school district, which I think I'm on the right track to getting it. So, for people who are curious about the backstory of this, I'll give. Bob says it's getting to mid-show if you want a break. I would actually like to read to you the statement from the superintendent, and of course the page will not load on my phone. Here it comes. Thank you guys for your patience. I want to read you this because I think it gives a little bit of insight, a smidge of insight from the school district in regards to what happened. So, here you go. Thank you for your patience, guys. I just wanted to read this to you. So, this came from Superintendent Amati. While matters related to discipline remain confidential to support to students and families, and let me just interject here, if it was your student that was involved in this, you would not want their information disclosed. You may or may not want the details of an altercation or fight like this disclosed. Just think about that for a second, because like you, I am very wary about my information going online. Given the fact that I'm told I'm a public person or whatever now, but I'll give you some insight. There were some people involved in a different page in Castro Valley who took photos of my car, who took photos of my home, and took photos of aerial photos of our office and posted them on their page. So I'm speaking from experience. I would be very sensitive about my information being shared as well. So I'm just trying to give you some insight. Matthew is saying you should want to share information. Matthew, would you want photos of your house, your car, your child's name online. I'm just, maybe we have a different perspective on that, but that's just the point I was trying to make. And Jamie says, I appreciate you doing your best to um, try to get multiple sides of the story. Thank you so much, Jamie. I appreciate the compliment. Wow. Let me read this from Superintendent Amati. While matters related to discipline remain confidential to support students and families, Castro Valley Unified Superintendent Parveen Amati said, we take these incidents very seriously and steps are taken to address the issue. It is unfortunate that at times conflicts occur and escalate. The district goal is to ensure students are supported and appropriate actions are taken throughout the process. Providing a safe learning environment for all students is our highest priority. So I wanted to make sure that you heard that in this conversation and give you a reminder that it's in the story that we posted as well, because the district has made an attempt to give information, but unfortunately, because of the situation, they are limited in what they can release. So I wanted to share that with you. And I appreciate your patience as me going through multiple devices to find said information. So let me go through here. Make sure I can get all the comments, because there's a lot of comments coming through and I don't want to miss any. Matella says, a student I said that she sits next to him in one of his classes, and she is known to have anger issues. And I think a lot of these things are speculative. We can all say we know someone who saw something, or we have this information that may gain insight to this, but I think there's a lot, we're all speculating. So, and I get that it's a really hot issue because it was a child that was hurt. So I understand that. Let me see. I want to make sure I'm not missing any of the comments here, and there's a lot rolling through. See, now that comment in regards to someone coming from a different district brings up a racial comment, which is just, you're seeing firsthand how social media and topics and situations completely get twisted, because someone says, I saw this, and all of us in good faith believe that person. However, that may not be a factual recollection, or it may not be the truth, period. So I think, and there was another portion of comment that came from Superintendent Amati that was totally on point, that a lot of times conversations on social media are not productive. So Janella says, spoke to the family directly, so no speculating here. However, Janella, I'm not saying anyone is not being truthful, but there are times where some people are not forthcoming with what actually happened. So, and unfortunately, we're kind of, the whole show is probably going to be on this topic now. Let's see, Julie says altercations are never condoned. Agree two sides to every situation. The school can't possibly control a child's reaction to each other. However, quick response would be expected. I agree. There's some mention that the school staff did not react in time. I can't speak on that. I don't have that information. So I wish I could. I wish I could get more information for you. Perhaps at 8 o'clock, Cron 4 will have a better outline of what happened. Perhaps the parent will go on the record and give more information. But like I said, I did my very best to present both sides to make a better conversation on the topic. And to me, it kind of seemed like people didn't want or don't want to hear from the school district. And I understand that, because there's so much emotion tied to this topic. And I get that. I totally get that. I totally get that. And let's see. Cassie says, no one is asking for names. We are asking why the police and medical professionals, as well as the parents, were not called. I don't know that they weren't. But we are getting an account that was written by the friend of a parent saying it wasn't. So I'm trying to piece everything together here. So, Carol says we shouldn't be talking about the children. We should be talking about a solution for safety in the schools and the vast understaffing. Annie says, regardless of the details from the actual incident, there's no doubt the school handled it poorly. There is no reason that parents shouldn't hear about their child sustaining injuries until hours after the incident, especially when it was a head injury. I'm going to perhaps give a different. Michael's asking if I'm doing the question you gave me last Tuesday. Michael, no, I'm not. I'm not going to do it tonight. We'll do it in a different show. I hope that'll be okay with you. Denise says, what a waste. Move on to another subject. Okay. The Midway giveaway. Let's do that. We're 9 minutes late. Do we want to continue talking about this? Because it's a hot thing. Jamie says, is this being covered by Cron 4? From what I heard, Cron 4 did come out and do a story. So let's see. Karen says, no, let's change that to something more positive. On the Boulevard by Rudy's Donuts will be a brand new store. Wicked Gardens, yes. They will be selling succulents and other cool things, yes. SROs were seen by students as a threat, so the MAC board removed their president. Sheila, that's completely wrong. That's totally inaccurate. The SROs were removed by the superintendent of schools and the board of trustees. The MAC had nothing to do with it. The MAC actually brought the topic before them. Actually, Eden Township substation Captain Colby Steza brought that to the attention of the MAC some time ago. So the MAC had nothing to do with schools. The MAC has nothing to do. The MAC has no oversight over schools whatsoever. They that was. They had nothing. The MAC had nothing to do with that. Lori says the statement was only made due to the uproar from parents. The situations was not handled appropriately. The students' parents should have been contacted immediately, and the child should have been taken to the hospital to be evaluated. That situation made worse by the lack of action by the school. If it's found to be proven that the school did not act fast enough in this instance, from what I understand, they may be legally liable. So there's that. And I do not know what the time frame was. I do understand that there is a sheriff's deputy that is investigating. There's a lot of other pages that are looking for information on this, and there's a lot of people who are asking for the Midway giveaway. So I got to do that. I'm sorry, guys, because I know we all kind of want to talk about this more, but as you can tell, I did this, and it seems like we're all kind of beating our heads against the wall, wanting more information, and I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon, because if this is going to be a lawsuit, it could take a while. Sheila, you're welcome for clarifying. I'm sorry. Cassie says, yet there are no suggestions as to where we are supposed to have these conversations. Where does the superintendent suggest we voice our opinions? We can talk about them here. You can also discuss them during the open comment period of the school board meetings. If you go to the school's website, you can find out when their meetings are. I believe they're Tuesday nights at 6. I could be incorrect about that. If I were frustrated and angry and have a strong opinion about this, it's perfectly wonderful and acceptable and appreciated that we can talk about it here and have a dialogue and all be friends, even though we may disagree. But definitely let the school board know. Also, I'll ask our moderator, please pull up the Castro Valley Unified website. On there, there's also the emails to their trustees. There's Gary Howard, there's Michael Kusiak, there's Dot Theodore. The rest of the board members are escaping me. You can definitely email them directly through their school emails. Let them know what you feel, how you feel, but definitely bring it directly to their attention. They do all of their. I see myself in the live thing doing this. There's a lag in the time. And I apologize, I'm losing my voice, but it's for a good cause. It's for my community. Michael says maybe people would be happy with a cop in every classroom on every street corner. I don't think that people would be happy with police officers in every classroom. Would the outcome of this altercation / fight have been different if there was an SRO on campus? That's a very good question. I think the answer to that would be personal opinion for a lot of us, maybe personal experience. Carol says, what about parent volunteers into school? They said we couldn't help at the middle school level. If we volunteer and become hall monitors, it could help. We could be trained in de-escalation. That's a wonderful point, Carol. Bob makes a great point. Public comments are allowed at all school board meetings. The trustees do listen to them, believe it or not. And yes, they do. Michael, thank you for the compliment. Michael says, thank you for trying to calm the mob rage. Janella says, I would not say mob rage, more like concerned parents and community. Janella, I would disagree. I think there's a lot of rage. Cassie says, she's not letting her daughter go to middle school next year, not letting this go. Mother just informed me this will be reported on Quran 4 News at 8 p.m. Great, I hope. There's a lot of times where the little fish, which is Castro Valley News, doesn't get people to talk, and hopefully Quran 4 gets this parent to go on camera and give more information. And hopefully Quran 4 persuaded maybe the school district to participate in their dialogue as well and give some other perspective as opposed to what we are hearing already. And I think if you're seeing me being frustrated, the frustration is because I think there's a lot of people who are really only seeing this side of the story. And that may be accurate. That entire message may be completely factual, but I'm giving you my my unsolicited kind of 2 cents. There's always 2 sides to every story. Sometimes there's more. And I think as a community, we can lambaste the school district for this, or we can sit back and maybe be fair and try to digest some more information. I'm not telling you what to do, just giving you my perspective. There's always 2 sides to every story, and every time I present a story, I do my best to get both sides to be fair, because you guys deserve that, and I'm not going to give you any less. Good evening to Maggie. Welcome to the show. I'm trying to catch up with the comments here because there's a lot of... Bob says that the attacker had been restrained by a SRO, there would be a whole different kettle of fish. Let's see here. Just cruising through here. Looks like the comments are... Cassie says, thank you for the school board meeting information. You're very welcome. I think definitely if you are frustrated, angry, up in arms about this, like a lot of people are, justifiably so, definitely let the school board know how you feel. I don't think that they're going to give more information on this. I hope that they do. I think I think a lot of agencies and organizations would be extremely enhanced and do more of a service to themselves. And I'm not trying to call out the school district in any way, because Superintendent Amati, I wasn't anticipating a response as lengthy as I received, with information that it held. It was greatly appreciated. So in no way am I trying to say that the school district isn't transparent, but I think a lot. But then again, they can't really talk about this because it's a school code. So, boy, and that just kind of fans, that makes the heat hotter, because we all want to know what happened, what's going to be happening going forward. Thank you, Maggie. Maggie is in the house tagging so many people. Whoa, we've got Chris, Linda, Christian, Tim, Tina, Vera, all being tagged by Maggie. Thank you so much. You are awesome. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everything that you do in the community. Also, Kathy, there we go. Oh, our moderator is poking me in the eye, asking me about the giveaway. So we have the midway giveaway that is not even midway. It's like three-quarter way, more than three-quarter way. So tonight, and I know Janella is going to love this, we've got a $20, can you see that? We've got a $20 gift card to the Cannery. That is the Cannery at the marketplace. So the first person to text in the correct answer to the midway giveaway trivia question, I just saw myself do the card in the live feed. 510-331-9112. First person to correctly answer this trivia question gets $20 to the Cannery. And I know everyone wants to show some love to the Cannery. You guys know that story. We're not gonna talk about the music on the Paseo again, are we? Maggie, thank you for tagging Jerome. And there you go. Oh, yes. Quien, I'm probably saying your name incorrect again, and I apologize, says the school should send an email to reassure parents their protocol in cases similar situations. This issue is now the talk of the town. That's correct. You can see how it's taken over the show, deservedly so. That's kind of a Dr. Seuss rhyme. I'm sorry for being silly during a serious topic. I totally agree with that. It would be a great service to the school district and to the community, even if it was something of anything, as much information that they could share as possible about this would definitely help, because when people like us are sitting with questions in our mind about something that happened, and we don't really know all the details, and I'm not saying that this parent or the other person is lying, it makes that frustration and that angst increase. So like I said, Denise says, did I miss the trivia? Amy, thank you for taking Katie. Maggie, thank you for taking Awa. Maggie, thank you for tagging Laura. Maggie, thank you for tagging Angelica, excuse me. Max says, Cannery, woo woo, yes. Maggie, thank you for tagging Brian. So the midway giveaway, $20 gift card to the Cannery. First person to text the correct answer to 510-331-9112 wins the $20 gift card. Can I do this? This is like an old David Letterman thing that he did. Wow, that really worked. Sorry. First person to text the correct answer to 510-331-9112 wins the $20 gift card. And the question is, what is the name of the wonderful, amazing Castro Valley barber who is, besides being a great guy, is known for his uncanny and amazing Charlie Chaplin impressions? Full dress, he's got the face, he does everything. So 510-331-9112. First person with the correct answer wins the $20 gift card to the Cannery. What is the name? Someone just texted in, you are incorrect, sir. Or yes, or ma'am, pardon me. What is the name of this Castro Valley barber who is, besides being a great guy, we got a winner. Hang on. So we have a winner. And the winner, let me get your first name. Oh, so the correct answer is Al Peretti, who is at so Paulette, congratulations, you won the $20 gift card to the Cannery. I love sharing some love to the Cannery. If you missed it, we did a restaurant review with Chef Igor at the Cannery when they were located in Hayward. They put on good food. So let me, give me 1 second. Oops, hold on. So Paulette won the $20 gift card, and the answer is Al Peretti, and he is still cutting hair at, I think it's Reflections of Hair on Redwood Road over by Trader Joe's. Yeah, somebody just commented that. Thank you, Carol. Carol, he is the barber next to Trader Joe's. He was the village barber, and he is also extremely well known for his Charlie Chaplin impressions. He used to do it every year at the Fall Festival. And another interesting thing about Al is he's an amazing guitar player, and he's just a good guy. He's a super, super amazing dude. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at messages here. Oh, okay. So Paulette, can I bring your gift card to that business that you mentioned? That would be awesome. If I can do that, that might be easier for me to just drive by and drop it in your box, in your mailbox. So, trivia question, the answer to that was Al Peretti. Amazing guy in town. Carol says he's the nicest guy. That is completely accurate. And also, Cali Life says Charlie Chaplin was from Old Niles, so that's cool. So we've got a couple more minutes if we want to revisit the that canyon story. And I apologize if I got like super spicy, but it's frustrating for me because I really want to get the information to you guys. And like I said, I wanted to get some perspective from the school district, and if you read the story or you rewind the show here, you can get some of the information from the superintendent, the small amount of information that could be released due to school regulations and that. So and also just bear in mind, give me 1 second here. That a couple of folks close to the school district are saying that, one more time, are saying that not everything in that account of the event is exactly as it happened. So, again, there's always two sides to every story. Keep an open mind with it. I know it's frustrating because a child was hurt, and I get that. I would not want my child of that age hurt at all. I wouldn't want my child at that age to be in a fight of any fashion. So let me see if I'm missing any questions or comments here in the on the thread here. So it kind of seems like maybe Darren's given a shout out to Milton over at Milton's Barbershop, and Milton's an awesome guy. I like Milton a lot. Milton is There's some. I love how you guys are like going back and forth with jokes and different topics in the comments. That's Bob said show closing giveaway. That's kind of how it turned out. You know what, Bob? Bob, thank you for your patience because Bob said, um, uh, Bob, Bob says a lot of wonderful things, and um, thank you to everyone who posted in the comments. The looks like the live stream on my end has frozen, but I've got the time is still ticking here. So if you have a question or comment, complaint, you can. Yeah, Bob is saying everyone is calming down, so that's good. It's reaching 8 o'clock, and hopefully people can tune in to the Cron 4 thing if they actually air it tonight, and maybe maybe they got some different perspectives, or maybe there's some different information, or hopefully there's some better information that will inform us all at some point. We are actually 2 minutes late, so I'm gonna keep going. Soshi, you're welcome. Cali Life brings up a great point. Any fight isn't right. That's kind of a that's a definite martial arts type thing there, where you use um, you avoid altercations and violence as much as possible, and you use your mind instead of brute force, which is wise. Bob says over 90 people at one time tonight. Not necessarily appropriate, but nice turnout. I was going to mention Bob was is not much of a fan of us discussing the topic of what happened at Canyon, and I think there were actually quite a few other folks who agreed that the conversation on that was best left on Nextdoor, which is kind of more kind of word of mouth things are on Nextdoor. Not extremely heavy on the factual side of things, but sometimes it's. I mean, it definitely serves a purpose, but I think um, definitely something like this from my end, and I'm just completely recovering old stuff that I already said, but my opinion, my emotion, my stance does not should not be included in any story that I post on the page. The show here is different, where it allows a little bit more wiggle room for a little bit more opinion, because this is really not a news story. This is kind of us talking about things, and being able to kind of meet in a neutral communal place. Uh, Bob says Hunter S. Thompson time. Next door can get way out of control. You did fine. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate your support and your unflinching love. You know, it's been an hour and 2 minutes. That's a show. Thanks, guys. I have the list here. It's done. Thank you guys for being awesome. Remember, there's always two sides to every story, and be good to yourselves, be good to your neighbor. And as always, when the going gets weird, the weird turn pro. We will see you next Tuesday, 7 p.m. right here. We'll be talking again. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all your support. And yeah, Amy says it's going to be featured on Cron. They led with it right now. So definitely go swing over to Cron 4 and check out the story. Hopefully they'll have more information. Thank you guys for being awesome. Stay safe.